Did somebody say Doom? Well, yes, I did, just then. Sorry, damn stupid question, really. Anyway, yep, time for more Doom. Of course, as far as I'm concerned, it's always time for more Doom. Today I'm going to be looking at Eviternity, another megawad containing 32 custom maps. It's one of the newer megawads as it was developed in 2018, and it's also one of the better known. If you know even a little about the Doom mapping scene, you've probably at least heard of Eviternity. It got plenty of critical acclaim, but can it dethrone Sunlust as my personal favourite thing ever done with the old school Doom engine? Well, that's what I'm here to find out. But actually, I'm going to be doing things a little differently this time. Eviternity is broken up into 6 chapters, each utilising a distinct theme, and so I'm going to be doing 6 smaller videos, one for each chapter. To be honest, this is more to do with my own energy levels more than anything else. I feel like smaller videos should be more achievable and I can get them done in a smaller time frame. That's a theory anyway, but it is just a theory and reality may not match up to that theory. My motivation ebbs and flows like the tide, except a lot less regular than the tide, and with a lot more ebbing than flowing. For today though, it's Chapter 1, Archaic. Like I said, each chapter follows a particular theme, and the title of this one will give you some idea of what to expect. We're talking medieval architecture with typically Doom-like overtones of gothic horror. Oh, but first I need to pick a difficulty setting. If you know anything about me, you can probably guess that I was drawn towards the easiest difficulty setting, I'm Too Young to Die. But the thing is, I have actually played through this megawad before, a couple of years ago, on the easiest difficulty setting, and I don't remember finding it very tough at all. So on this one occasion, I might just be brave enough to step it up to ultra-violence. No, okay, not ultra-violence. Hurt me plenty. And even that took some guts. But hey, if it proves too tough, I can always switch back to something more suited to my skills, or lack thereof, for the later chapters. So here we are, Chapter 1, Level 1. The first thing you'll notice is the fact that the pistol fires significantly faster in Eviternity. Well, you might notice the rather nice custom texture work first, I guess. It really is rather good, even if it's not as flashy and eye-meltingly gorgeous as it gets later on. For now, this is a world of wood and stone. Despite the vast array of new textures though, everything here looks like it could very well fit into the Doom of decades ago. In fact, it's highly reminiscent of Hexen, which really was pretty much a fantasy world shoved into the Doom engine, and with good results. The increased fire rate of the pistol is the only change made to the weapons, and although I am something of a purist, I don't object to it. It makes the pistol a bit more impactful, a bit more useful, which is no bad thing. Structurally, this first level is compact and pretty simple, making it a good introduction to Eviternity. You'll find a shotgun within the first couple of minutes, and a chain gun if you notice that this wall is a slightly different colour to the others. I love Doom secrets like this, the truly old school sort that reward observation. There's a slightly more obvious secret switch here that leads to armour, and that's it for the secrets in this level. Not exactly tough to track down, but hey, it's the first map. And this may be the only level I find all the secrets on, because a completionist I am not. So yes, the first level is easy enough and takes no more than a few minutes, but it's a great mood setter. And keep it in your mind because it may be getting a callback at some point later on. By which I mean it's definitely getting a callback in a later map, because why the hell else would I say that? I'm not just going to throw in some random foreshadowing that has no payoff. That would be insane, and probably annoying. Sorry, I'm not too good at being enigmatic. On to level 2, Subterranean. The name probably gives away the theme of this level, and actually Eviternity does something that I particularly love. It starts every level at the same location the previous level ended. Well, mostly. The last level of every chapter sends you through a portal to a new environment. But yeah, I really like this. It suggests a continuity and consistency that's rare in Doom. I wouldn't want every map pack to do this. I also like ones that send you on an unpredictable journey through abstract demonic slaughterfests, but it is nice for a change. So, we're now in a cave system, and the music's awesome. It seems to be a recurring theme that good map designers also have good taste in music, because many of the best map packs also have varied, interesting and well thought out soundtracks that really suit the environments and the action. A warning though, when I imported the VOD of one of my live streams of Eviternity from Twitch to YouTube, one of the tunes was automatically copyright claimed. So if you hear silence where there should be some kick-ass MIDI tune, that's probably why. And since I'm on the subject, maybe follow me on Twitch? I stream all sorts of random crap that's probably of limited interest to most people, but I always appreciate the company, so do feel free to stop by, links in the description. Anyway, this level is a big step up in terms of complexity. It's not a huge level by any means, in fact it's rather small, but there are some extremely clever uses of verticality and twisting paths that give the impression of a large, winding cave system without becoming tedious or confusing. Well, not too confusing anyway. I managed to get lost, but that's more of a me problem than a design problem. Difficulty-wise, yeah, it's a step up too. There are a few Hell Knights and a few occasions where the confined spaces create a bit of pressure, but even I am not struggling with Hurt Me Plenty. Yet. Level 3 is Drain. Does that make this a sewer level? Should I call Civvy 11 so we can add this to his tally? No, I don't think so. There is water here, but it's nice and blue, not too evocative of a sewer. What has gone to crap, however, is my aim. Actually, this level is kind of like a combination of the first two, a kind of medieval structure embedded in rocky outcroppings. And it's getting tougher, although it's still not super threatening. Look, I survived this fight with one whole health point to spare. That all you got, Eviternity? Oh, right, this is level 3. I'm guessing this is not all that Eviternity's got. And in fact, I spend a fair bit of time in this level at relatively low health. Mostly that's down to my incompetence doing the demon's work for them. The game really is not that difficult yet, but resources are a little scarce, especially compared to Sunlust, which, despite its undeniable brutality, was also pretty generous with the health and armour. That said, there is a super shotgun in a secret here, which is very nice to have, and a not-so-secret plasma rifle, which is even nicer to have. There's also a supercharge up on a ledge, which I never did figure out how to get to. It just sat up there taunting me. I even spent some time once I'd cleared out the map trying to figure out how to get to it, but to no avail. After literally a minute's ceaseless searching, I got impatient and went on to level 4. Which is called Regicide.
If you know the name of the king or queen being murdered, press 1.
It's a memorable level, definitely one of the better renditions of a realistic medieval structure I've seen in the Doom engine. It's not a grand castle, more a compact, secure fortress. There's a moat, an extensive library, a throne room, a gate that requires 3 different coloured keys scattered throughout the vicinity, a standard 14th century stronghold in other words. No, wait, what am I saying? The multicoloured key gate wasn't introduced until Friedrich Truxmill perfected his design in 1508. The Archvile makes its first appearance in this level, and boy have I ever missed it, with its delightful laugh and warm, loving embrace. This guy turns out to be so eager to share his fiery love that I suffer my first death of the run. Fortunately, as an inveterate save scummer, I don't lose much progress. Yes, to my shame, I hit the quick save button with a legitimately indecent frequency while playing Eviternity. But I have a rule when save scumming: only reload when you actually die. If you end up on low health and low ammo, such is life. Save anyway and deal with the consequences. In some small way, this rule makes me feel a little bit better about myself. Well, okay, it's not precisely a rule, more a code of honour. A voluntary, unenforceable code. A code that's quite flexible. In fact, it's very bendy indeed. The yellow key is actually sitting on the throne itself, which I guess implies that it was in fact the reigning monarch. Whether it came to power either through conquest or by birth, whether it was a just and fair ruler or a tyrannical oppressor, these are questions which may never be answered, although God knows I've spent many sleepless nights pondering them. I'm leaning more towards tyrannical oppressor because you can't get within 6 feet of it before defences rise up and a trap is sprung. Clearly this key king was prepared for his subjects to storm the castle, demanding its head on a platter, which actually wouldn't have been too hard to arrange. It is, after all, a skull key. To regain access to the key, you need to activate a switch in the library, beside which is a tiny model of the throne, demonstrating that it's once again accessible, which is a nifty little touch. The other keys, which I imagine to be the siblings of the king key, are scattered further afield. The blue key sits in a cave outside the castle, where it has presumably lived as a hermit since being banished by its yellow sibling. Meanwhile, the red key rests atop a bookshelf in the library, where I imagine it passed its days in thoughtful solitude, taking solace from the fact that while it may not be king itself, it may yet rise to be the true power behind the throne. You know what? I may be reading too much into this whole monarch key thing. Once you've gathered them all, you can open the gate, behind which lies... Hey, it's another Archvile! This one doesn't present any trouble though, as there's some good solid cover to heroically hide behind. With that final hurdle overcome, it's on to level 5, Demon. This may actually be the smallest level so far, but it's definitely not the easiest. It starts with an elevator ride punctuated by spectre ambushes, and then you're in the main arena. The Gothic architecture has been kicked up a notch, and this library/cathedral looks fantastic. It's also packed with monsters, of course, and when you press this button, you probably won't be surprised to be inundated with foes, but you might be surprised that some of them are nightmare demons, the first of Eviternity's new and original enemies. It's basically a demon that's been coloured green and given increased move speed and double health. As I've said, I'm a bit of a Doom purist and don't necessarily appreciate new or adapted monsters, but this one is a welcome addition for one particular reason: the noises it makes. In all honesty, I'm not sure I've ever come across an enemy in any game that can creep me out so thoroughly without even being on screen. Maybe it's just me, but I find its low purring growl literally sends shivers up my spine. When I was a small child, we lived for a little while on a hippie commune. We had no electricity until we got solar panels installed, and while we waited we had to use kerosene lamps. Apart from stinking like, well, kerosene, when you shut them down, the guttering flame would sometimes make a noise exactly like the growl of these nightmare demons. I remember once I was going to the toilet in the middle of the night and my mother must have shut off her lamp in her room, and I heard that noise and it scared the crap out of me. I remember that moment to this day. I honestly thought I was about to be devoured by some unspeakable, unseeable horror. Now in Eviternity I can finally see that horror, revealed in all its pixelated Doom-style glory. Thanks guys. Anyway, once I finished reliving childhood traumas, I managed to blast my way through the rest of the level. It's intense, but we're still in the early part of the game and there's health and ammo aplenty. So it's time to bid a fond farewell to Chapter 1 and move on to Chapter 2, Automation. It's a bit of a leap thematically from medieval to high-tech, but I'm sure there's a reason for it. I didn't actually bother reading much of the story. And anyway, I'll be leaving Chapter 2 until next time, which hopefully won't be too far off, but who knows. My laziness is so extreme that I can't even be bothered to finish this then. But until then, get off my lawn.